What I'm about to say, I've said it for years, but this could potentially be a very good way to pay for a lot of the cost that this pandemic has caused. Because what do governments need now more than ever? They need money and they need social security for people, i.e. jobs. Are you ready? Legalise and regulate the drugs market. Stay with me. This is going to divide opinion, but hey ho, here's my take on it. It is a multi euro, dollar, pound, whatever you want to call it. It's a multi billion pound industry. And it's driven by demand. The demand for drugs, quite simply, will not go away. I think Ronald Reagan originally started the war on drugs back in the early 70s. Yet you see it more often now than we ever have. So it's clearly not working. And people will always supply that demand. It's a business. And yet we leave it in the hands of criminals. It's ridiculous. And the UK has all not that long ago just repaid all its debts from World War II, which ended in 1945. So something clearly needs to change, especially following this past year. And there's a massive opportunity now. Let's talk about your local drug dealer who's selling drugs in a pub car park tonight, close to here, close to everywhere up and down the country. You don't know what's in those drugs. Chances are, neither does he. Because he'll have bought them from someone else, who's got them from someone else, who's got them from someone else. And every rung it goes down this ladder, it gets mixed with something else. You don't know what that's been mixed with. Surely it makes much more sense for these people to buy those drugs from a regulated, licensed outlet, instead of the back of some fella's Citroen Saxo in a Morrison's car park on a Friday night. You then know where it was manufactured, what's gone into it, and what the process of making it was. And you're advised on how to take them. Granted, people probably ignore that advice, but there's a leaflet, there's a flyer in the box telling you the associated risks involved and what can go wrong. This industry is left in the hands of villains that they don't care about your health. They just want you to take more, and they want you to take more of the really addictive stuff, because guess what? Then you'll be back tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that. If people want to do it, they're going to do it. And surely if people are doing it anyway, it makes much more sense that they buy it from a regulated drugstore, that we as a collective earn taxes from the sales of said drugs, which we can then use to reduce prison populations, to educate people and give problematic drug users the right treatment they need, and also to cover some of the cost of the past 12 months. And guess what? We can afford that because we, as in the state, has been taking in billions of revenue from the sales of these drugs, and it'll be manufactured in the country, it'll be regulated, and you won't hear stories about people dying from dodgy batches. Like, you hear on the news, don't you, that a city somewhere has had 3, 5, 7 deaths from a contaminated batch of whatever drug. It'd stop all that. We're seeing it happen slowly with marijuana in the States and in Canada, but surely now of all times would be a perfect opportunity to quickly try and get this legislation through the House of Commons. Because what's going to happen over the next 6 months? Millions more people will be unemployed. Millions more people will be seeking work. Get these laws passed now and start employing people to build these manufacturing plants. Start employing people to manufacture these drugs. Start getting the retail outlets ready to then sell them. Because if we beat organised crime on price, purity and availability, they've got nowhere to go. Alright, they'll probably sell bootleg stuff like they do tobacco and cigarettes, but if it's more expensive and the quality's worse and you can only get it on a Friday night round the back of Asda when your local dealer's available in between his stints in prison, why on earth would you go down that route when you can just go to the high street, to the drugstore, and buy better quality, cheaper, and get it 24/7? And let's start treating it like cigarettes. Educate kids from a young age on the dangers of it, and have the packet or box or whatever it comes in covered in warnings of you might die or you will die by taking this. And tax it to high heavens. Billions in revenue, millions of jobs, less crime, less people in prisons, which I assume must also save billions. I don't see why it doesn't make sense. And we're not suddenly going to have high streets full of zombies off the nut walking down the street. Like, you don't have that with alcohol. Granted, if you walk to Wetherspoons on a Tuesday afternoon, you'll probably see that, but you don't see those people on every street corner. Will there be a little spike or increase in drug use when it becomes legalised? Possibly, maybe, but that's going to plateau soon enough and then start to decrease once the novelty wears off. I know this isn't the regular sort of stuff that I put out, but it's something I was thinking about recently and I thought I'd share it. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think I'm going bonkers? I'd be keen to know. Thanks for watching.